Question number 8. Now in this question we have given a method like this. So in this method we are calculating the factorial of any given number. So we need to find out the time complexity for this method. Now you might be interested what is factorial. So in math, factorial equation is like this. So n factorial equals to, it starts from 1 multiplied with 2 with 3 and it continues until n. Now if you calculate 3 factorial over here, it's going to be 1 multiplied with 2 multiplied with 3 and it equals to 6. Now based on this logic over here, we have created a method in Java. So we need to find out the time complexity for this method. Now if you remember, in big O section, we have learned how to find time complexity for recursive methods. So if you look at this method carefully, you see that this method calls itself recursively with a different parameter. Now let's recap the rule that we explained in big O section. So here we are assuming that this function takes OMN time complexity. Then we are continuing to this part. So this part is just if condition and we are returning value. So we know that if conditions in terms of time complexity takes O1 time complexity. So this part will take O1 time complexity. Then if this function takes Mn time complexity, so this means that if you are calling this function with n-1, the time complexity will be Mn-1. Now based on these time complexities over here, we can write that Mn equals to O1 plus Mn-1. So the whole function takes this time complexity. So if we sum up these complexities over here, we are getting this time complexity. Now if you put 1 instead of n over here, the equation will look like this. Now if you try to put instead of n-1, our equation will look like this. So if we continue put n-2, so it's going to be like this, then it continues until n. So this means that we can take the m-1 from here and replace it over here and calculate our equation. So it becomes like this, 2 plus mn-2. Now we have calculated mn-2 over here. So if we take it from here and put it over here, our equation will look like this, 3 plus mn-3. Now if we continue this, it's going to be like this. So at the end we are getting a plus mn minus a. So instead of a, if we put n over here, our equation will look like this. So if we calculate it, it's going to equal to n. So this means that the time complexity for this method takes On time complexity. Basically, we have explained this case in our lecture of how to measure recursive algorithms. So if you don't understand it over here, I advise you to go back to that lecture and watch that very carefully. So this is how we are calculating time complexity for recursive method. So hopefully everything is clear about this method. So see you in the next lecture.